How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today, I'd like to talk about credit card debt and how to pay it off. You see, with your friends, you don't usually talk to your friends about massive credit card debt, because if you ever tell someone this, they're gonna just step back and go, oh my god, you have what credit card debt? Crazy amount of credit card debt, you know? It's kind of like a negative thing to talk about, so people just don't talk about it. Let me just tell you that as an overview of paying off credit card debt, it's not about having the money to pay it off. It's actually about your mentality on how you spend money. Let's say someone gives you a whole bunch of money just to pay off all your debt, and all of a sudden all your debts are paid off, then you're gonna be like, oh, my debts are paid off, I'm gonna buy this and that, and then you're always gonna get back into debt again. So really, to get out of it, you just have to change your frame of mind. Another good example is people who win the lottery that are not prepared to handle that amount of money. People get this amount of money and most of them, they go broke because they go and spend it everywhere, they give it away and things like that. They're not in the mode where they're trying to make it generate more income or just use just enough so that it can sustain the rest of their lives. Now, I always like to go over a little bit of statistics about the average American. Now you see over here, the average credit card debt is about $15,000. Now the average APR that you're paying on this is about 15%. This means if you're just paying the minimum, you're paying somewhere around $2,250 in interest payments. This is not applied to the principal, so this is just money burned. And then if you work it out to a per month basis, it's about $200 a month. I'm bringing these numbers up because you really gotta look at the numbers to see how much it hurts. You really gotta treat this $200 a month that you're losing like it's burning. Like, this is literally burning a hole in your pocket. $200 a month, it's a lot. It's kind of like if you have $100 in your wallet and you lost your wallet. Doesn't that hurt? Because when you lose your wallet, you're like, oh man, I lost all that cash in there. Yeah, that hurts a lot. Imagine losing it twice, that's $200. Every 2 weeks you lose your wallet. How bad does that feel? Another way to look at it is instead of losing this $200, you get it free. You can spend it on whatever you want. $200 can buy something very nice if you're just buying one single item. Now, there are two ways to pay off your credit card debt. I've listed here an example of what you may owe and the APR. Now, in order to tackle what you do, I suggest to do this as well. List out all your debts and list out how much balance you have in there and also your APR so you can see everything aggregated together on what you owe. Now, there's always the argument of should you pay off something with the highest interest rate first or something with the lowest balance first? If you try to work on paying off the highest interest rate first, it's gonna feel like it's gonna take a long time because this is $5,000. It might take, months or years before you can get rid of this. Therefore, you're gonna have this feeling that it's gonna take a long time, it's impossible. So it's psychologically harder to do that. However, if you have a really strong mind and good willpower to do this, you can do that and it'll allow you to pay the minimum over all your loans. However, the other way for most people is to pay off the lowest balance first, because once you pay this off, you're gonna feel good about it. You're gonna go, oh, one whole debt is gone. You only got 3 rather than 4 of them. Then this gives you a good feeling. Then it's like a positive feedback here. And then you're gonna go, oh, I'm gonna try harder and I'm gonna pay off this one and then pay off that one. Yes, if you pay off the minimum balance first, you may be paying a little bit more of interest, but it gives you this great psychological feedback so that you can feel like you're doing something, and it'll kind of encourage you to do it more and more and finally pay it all off. Now, this is a typical balance transfer check that you get from a credit card. This is the interest and fee information section of it. Every single balance transfer has this little box that's really easy to read. So I would skip all that promotion stuff in the front and just jump straight to this box. What you want to look at is the fee. 3% here, it says. It's gonna vary by whatever amount that they're offering. And it's gonna tell you the APR. So it's 0% APR on this one. And then after this promotion period, it'll go up to 22%. So whenever I look at this stuff, this fee here is as soon as you do the balance transfer, you have to pay 3%, which is pretty hefty. Sometimes they would have 0% fee and 0% APR, which is pretty rare in 2016, depending on what kind of offers you get. So if you get anything like these, it might be a good thing to consolidate all your loans into this particular credit card because you are getting 0% APR. So this is a good way to reduce your interest payments. However, you gotta look at the fee though. Once you do it, you're paying 3%. This is great for the bank because they make 3% immediately. They don't even have to wait a few months. You have to pay this immediately. Now, once you have a particular loan you're trying to tackle, you need to tackle your cash flow problems because a lot of times you got into this credit card debt problem is because you're spending beyond your means. You're borrowing in order to pay for stuff. Really, most people are actually making more than what they will spend. There's a lot of excess that people are spending that you can actually cut. My recommendation is to do a bare bones minimum for the duration that you're paying off your credit card debt. You need to cut out everything. Just do it. It's gonna be temporary. It's gonna be like 6 months to 12 months. If you are really on top of it, then you can pay back your credit card debt really, really fast. And then after you do it, some of these habits might stick because you're like, hey, you know, I'm kind of okay with this. And on top of that, you're gonna have all that extra money that you used to pay the interest with, and then you can use that as extra spending cash or save it. Now this cash flow diagram, I'm not gonna go over everything because I have a whole video just based on cash flow, how to increase your cash flow, how to reduce the amount that you're spending, and also how to increase your income. Now just quickly as an example on how you can reduce your expenses. No lattes, no going out to the movies because you can always rent, no going out to restaurants because the food is unhealthy anyway, and you can always cook at home, which is better for you anyway. Of course, you gotta be earning something, and in order to earn more to cover all your credit card debt, you could also take on side jobs and stuff, I'm sure you know. Now, after you increase your income and reduce your expenses, you gotta use all of that and just pile it all into your credit card debt, whichever method you choose, the lowest balance method or the highest APR method. And of course you gotta pay more than the minimum, and actually you should pay as much as you can in order to reduce your balance. Another obvious thing is to sell the stuff that you don't use. A lot of people have a lot of stuff they don't use. It's like most people have a lot of clutter actually, and you can actually sell that clutter and put all of that proceeds into your credit card debt, and that's a great way to get rid of your debt. That's it for paying off credit card debt, and if that does not work, let me just nudge you by giving you a look of disapproval. Don't forget to give me a like over here. Let me know if this helps you pay off your credit card debt, and don't forget to subscribe over here. Thanks for watching.